Hey, good morning, folks. I am here on our second week to share some ideas on how to improve your recognition score. And remember, this is the month of September. We want it to make a September to remember. So let's take a look at some ideas. Now, first off, I got a little video for you. I don't know if you guys know Earth, Wind, and Fire. This might be kind of old for some of you guys out there. So our plan is to really concentrate on recognition and make it a September to remember, help our guests to remember that they were recognized. Because I'll tell you why, and this is really the big reason, is guests that say they're recognized are happier guests. They fill out surveys and they give you higher scores. And it's a direct correlation. So if you have the front desk people are saying, how can I really influence that heartbeat score? What can I do to make a difference? Really take time to make that check-in the very best check-in and make sure that the guest feels that they're recognized and that you personalize their check-in experience. So let me tell you, here's one of the things I asked you to do last week was to spend some time listening to your front desk. And if you have time, let me know what you heard. What did they sound like at the front desk? I mean, do this again this week and see, are they changing the way they check in people? Because I'm going to tell you, habits are hard to break. I know it's been a long time since I was at the front desk, but I love working with guests at the front desk. It's really a fun job to talk to guests. But we all get into a habit and maybe even a rut of how we check people in. We get into the same pattern. So we got to break up that pattern and change it. And so hopefully you heard them breaking up the pattern, doing a couple of things different. Let's recap what we talked about doing last week, and you got to keep doing it. Again, number one is for your club members who are on that guest arrivals report, tell them what the club is. Make sure that they understand that that club is something to get points, that they can get free stuff, because a lot of them signed up for the club just to get a better rate when they were in the CRO or on the web when they book the rate. They see that there's a rate that's a couple of dollars cheaper. What the heck, I'll click on that, and then they have to sign up for the club, then they stay at your hotel, then they get a survey and ask, were you greeted as an IHG Rewards member? And they don't even know what it is. So they probably would say no or not answer that question. We want them to say yes, and the best way to do that is to not only tell them what it is, but tell them to sign up for the app, go up and register for Accelerate. If you guys go look at what you can get for Accelerate this month, I mean, you get 3,000 points just for staying at a hotel. You get points for booking a room online. You get points for staying on the weekends. You get more points for staying more than for 9 nights. I mean, it's not that hard for somebody who travels on a regular basis to get to gold status or even free rooms, probably a couple of free rooms in the month of September. Use guest preferences to personalize the check-in experience. We talked about that. Make sure that you're utilizing that guest preferences on the arrivals list and verbalizing what they are. The second is to ask your guests for a favor, your repeat guests. Make sure that you ask them to fill out a survey. Obviously, they stay with you on a regular basis. They must like you. It would be nice if they took time to fill out the survey, which means if they filled it out last year, they can do it again this year. Okay, so this week, what are the 2 things for you guys? Number 1, I would like you to visit Champions Corner. That's in the IHG Rewards Club source for those champions out there. Make sure you go out there and check it out. So the first thing I want you to do is click on Champions Corner, find some help, or ask a question. So what I want you to do is respond to a question, say thank you, this is awesome, or ask a question yourself. Nice and simple. 2 things, one of those 2 things, just do one of those. And I'll be looking at it on this week, and I want to make sure that you guys are all going in there and doing something. I want to see some of the names that I recognize because we get a lot of people who are in Champions Corner, but I'm not sure if you guys are in there. I didn't see anybody recognized in the last few days anyway. So find out who your closest champions are to your hotel from other hotels, IHG properties. It tells you on Champions Corner who those closest champions are. Reach out to them, talk to them, maybe go to lunch, chat about some ideas and what they're doing to improve recognition. I think you're probably going to get more help there than you would even from me talking to other people who are actually doing it. Number 2, thank you notes. This is huge. And the reason I bring it up is I have a hotel in San Diego who recently did thank you notes this month, and their scores are in the high 90s. So what we want to do is to write little notes to Aspire, Platinum, Gold, IHG Rewards, like, Jimmy Fallon, the little thank you notes. Get your music going in the background and write up some notes every day. Pull up that guest arrivals report. Talk to your guests. If you know something about them and why they're coming back, hey, I hope you enjoy your stay here. If it's their first time at your hotel, you know what? I was on a vacation this summer, and I got some thank you notes. And some of the things they put in there was like, hey, we know you're on vacation. Here are some of the things to do in our town, and here's some restaurants. And here's a quick tip. They told me how to get to a certain place. So if you're in a location where it's faster to get to their business in a certain way, write that in there. If you have a favorite restaurant, put that down in there. Whatever you guys like, or just share some tips about the local area, or just thank them for coming back to your hotel. I personally love handwritten thank you notes. You don't get that many anymore. You get these. Sometimes you get a typed up one or a generic one that's signed, and that's nice. But I'll tell you what makes a big difference is you just put a couple of lines down on a card and send it out. It's going to make a huge difference to your guests. And you're going to see your scores stay at 100 or move up to high 90s. So those are my 2 things for this week. Go to the Champions Corner, look around, review some comments, maybe ask a question. Check out the name of the champions that are nearest to you. And write thank you notes to your Aspire, Platinum, and Gold members, handwritten notes. And do this for the rest of the month and maybe forever. So let's see if that makes a difference for your scores. I bet you it does, because it has at hotels. So I had a place for questions and comments. I've gotten some great comments. I've got some ideas. If you guys have questions or comments, send me an email. Send me a quick note, and I will respond, of course, as quickly as possible. Feel free to ask me whatever you need. I am your contact. We have operations specialists who might be working with you. You could also reach out to them too, but also always reach out to me if you have a question of how to do something or you're having trouble. If you're having trouble getting into Loyalty Connect, or if you're having trouble getting to IHG Rewards Club Source, then let me know. So let's get some background music going. Oh yeah, jamming. I think this video, look at this video from 1970s probably. How did that get on YouTube? So let's move our recognition up to 100%. If you're at 100%, stay at 100%. Let's keep it there. We want more guests to remember that we cared to recognize them. Remember that. That's the most important part. More club members will know what they signed up for. More surveys from happy guests by asking those repeat guests to fill out a survey. We're going to use the Champions Corner, and we're going to do thank you notes. That's a lot of stuff, but you know what? The more things that you can do to improve your recognition this month, our goal is to just knock it out of the park, make this a September to remember, and finish the year with recognition scores at our highest level ever. So far, we're doing awesome, by the way. So as a group, we're in the 90s so far this month. That's so awesome. So keep it up. Let's make it a September to remember. And thank you so much for your time. I kept this one to be a short call, and that's the plan for each week. And I'll talk to you next week. Thanks again.